Hey, everyone out there in the land of YouTube. Annette Dion here. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. It's Wednesday, it's Hump Day, September 17th, 2025. I do want to get my microphone set up, so hang on. All right, I'm back. No, I keep moving things. I was royally pissed off this afternoon. Royally pissed off. That's a little hint. That's the proper choice of words, I suppose. I was royally pissed off. Let's play a little game. Why do you think your resident psychic was royally pissed off today? Let's see. Think about the events of today. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like the color of the shirt. Yes. I could. No, actually, I want you to guess why I was royally pissed off. Electra Storm went to see Hamilton the musical at a movie theater today. Good for you. It got you inspired. Excellent. Yeah, it's really inspiring. Excellent. King Charles visit. Mary wins the prize. Oh my word. I was fit to be tied. I was so angry. You know what's funny is is that you all had many different reasons why I could say that I was royally angry, and they all fit. Did he walk in front of King Charles? I did not know that. Oh. What? Uh, a 34 times convicted felon who is turning his own country into a complete disaster. You know that word that he loves to say? He's committing crimes against humanity. He's been placating our enemies and taking money and extorting people and shutting down our media and sending ICE to arrest people that are innocent and just living their lives, insulting everybody, not even caring about his friend Charlie Kirk, who was gunned down and killed a week ago. There are so many things. And this Epstein thing, the golden carriage. I don't know. Is it just me? I was like, hold my beer. I'm going in. I had to calm myself down because I think it just reached a point. I think I just reached a point where I just couldn't handle how angry that I was. And I think it had a lot to do with the fact that now the UK is doing what the MAGAs that are just destroying everything that we love have done. Yeah, he was just doing his tradition of walking ahead of the queen by doing it to the king. So anyway, I called Kathy Biehl and we talked for over an hour. 'Cause I have off the ledge, and sometimes I need to be talked off the ledge. Thank you to the people in the UK. I don't know if I still have, I used to have a few people from the UK that were viewers. If you happen to be, definitely raise your hand. I don't think that there are, my channel is not very visible for, whatever reason. I'm having iced tea tonight. So, I calmed myself by telling myself that there were massive amounts of protesters there. They're on to him. They had some kind of a lunch time where all the dignitaries were gathered, and there was a woman who was standing there and gave her whole protest speech about Dumpy, about how he's going to kill the entire planet with his denial of climate change, calling it a hoax, was just really, really going on. And we needed to see that. And projecting a picture of Epstein and him during their heyday onto Windsor Castle. And I think 4 people got arrested. And I'm curious to know what the charges actually were. I think it had something to do with being disrespectful to a visiting political something. He shouldn't even have been allowed into the fucking country. He's a 30, well, he was a 35 times until, I don't know, they knocked off one of the felon charges. 34 times convicted felon, pretty much a war criminal, committing crimes against humanity, who doesn't give a rat's ass about anybody but himself. Kimmel was pulled off the air immediately. Are you talking about tonight, Warren? Oh, okay. So ABC has suspended Jimmy Kimmel for Charlie Kirk remarks. What did he say? I don't think that Jimmy Kimmel was disrespectful. Oh, permanently. Well, nothing's permanent. Let's start by reading on that. I didn't know. That must have just happened. All the networks bending over for white supremacy should be ashamed. Absolutely. We're going to ask. I have this little bitty pendulum right here. We're going to ask. We're going to ask this. Jimmy Kimmel has been on fire. He's been great. And he had said that the assassin was a conservative. You can't hide the truth forever. You cannot hide the truth forever. It's not possible. Is Jimmy Kimmel going to fight back? Yeah. Yeah, he didn't do anything wrong. Aren't those famous dumpy words? I didn't do anything wrong. I did nothing wrong. It was a perfect phone call. That's one line that Dumpy repeated over and over and over and over and over and over. How many times, how many lines did we get sick of hearing? It's a Democrat hoax. Yeah. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I don't even want to imitate him. He's a big, ugly, fat buffoon. And I do have a picture. I'm going to show you a picture because I took a screenshot of the live stream of the dinner. Hang on a second. I always do this. Hang on a second. I have a couple shots of the dinner. Okay. And this is the state that he is in. Kimmel can now call it a witch hunt. Right. We need to rise up. I'm so grateful that the Brits did. Okay. So can you see? Let me get my pointer. Hang on. Which person in this picture looks like they're taking a nap? If you guess this one, you are right. You get a bell. You get a bell. Yes, that one. That one is not very attentive to what's going on. This person is suffering from old age and dementia. This person is clueless. This person is complicit. Oh my God. He brought his own bed sheets so the orange paint would not ruin them. Are you just joking? I just don't even know anymore. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Is it Choli or Koli? I'm beginning to see signs like Russia, you can't say anything. Hello? We're seeing people that were speaking out against the Epstein files meeting a terrible fate. Nailed it. Nailed it. Because Putin's dream is to turn America into the Russian Federation of America. We're gonna look at some things tonight. Okay? I saw a headline that Melania was divorcing him. I don't know if that was accurate or just hearsay. So yeah. So here's the thing. We need to educate people about what authoritarianism is. Dumpy on the campaign trail just kept talking about Viktor Orban, Viktor Orban, oh, that Viktor Orban. Oh, Putin, I get along great with Putin. I get along great with Putin. I get along great with Putin. Yeah, let's sanction the whole freaking planet against what Russia's doing to Ukraine. Let's sanction Russia. All these countries sanction Russia. Dumpy puts tariffs on everybody. All the countries, even the Penguin Islands. The islands with penguins. But when it comes to Russia, no sanctions, no tariffs. So what I'm going to do, we need to be delivered from this evil. That's why we're sticking together here. What is unfolding in front of us is the signs that he has Putin, the Putin playbook, because it's to a T, in a manner of speaking. It's to a T. This is exactly what Putin did to a democratic Russia, somewhat democratic Russia, fledgling. So Putin got in there and he shut down everybody. Now, I am not going to fearmonger because I'm in the business of not fearmongering. I am going to say that the collective America that is sane is going to overthrow this BS. I'm also going to say that in a certain way, we're in a certain way, it's fortunate that Dumpy is so compromised. Because if he wasn't so compromised, I mean physically, then like if he was a young, robust, charismatic man that everybody loved, it would be different, right? I tend to watch a lot of documentaries because, you know, I just when you hang out with an elderly person, the TV's on. So I've been catching, I mentioned the Titanic. I caught the Titanic, and I was mentioning, was it this morning on Off the Ledge, about what real courage is and about when the Titanic was sinking, that there were men on board, and some of them were quite wealthy, that said, I want the women to go ahead. I will stay behind and I will perish. And so that was really an interesting sort of a snapshot of what it used to be like to be considered noble and selfless and a true hero. So it's on the National Geographic channel if you watch that. It's a great channel. And there's been a lot of documentaries about World War II. It's fascinating that we made it through as a human species through World War II. This world has been through a lot, and we're in a time where this world is going through a lot. It's not just us. I know it's like our turn to fight back and push back on fascism, but it's not just us. Anyway, that Titanic special, just to brief you on it, is like they've managed to, researchers and engineers have managed to capture a life-size, they call it like a Titanic Titanic twin, a life-size picture of the sunken ship. And it's fascinating to hear the stories, what they're finding out. And just as a distraction, I want to just say that another really interesting thing that you can catch it, because we all need to watch something to distract ourselves. If you haven't seen the documentary on the making of the Steven Spielberg movie Jaws, you need to see that. It's really something what they went through making that movie. Like failure after failure after failure and challenge after challenge after challenge, thinking it was going to fail, and it was a huge success. But anyway, back to documentaries. When we see what all went on during World War II, I really know that we need for people to be educated about world history. Like, well, who said it? Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. And we have to believe in miracles, right? We have to believe in miracles. So please hit the thumbs up. It's not the movie The Titanic. It's just a documentary about what they discovered. I mean, believe me, there's more that people are watching nowadays that's more traumatizing. The Titanic sank in 1912. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how much power do we, the people, have right now? Dear guides, oh guides, how much power on a scale of 1 to 10 do we all have to topple this regime? 10 being a lot. 1, 2 at the current time, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is interesting. I thought it would be a lot lower. We're at like an 8.5 to 9%. I mean, 90%, 85 or 90% potential for us to successfully overthrow this regime. So I'm going to read some cards about that. Okay. I know, yeah, Michael's saying we need to revamp many things in this country. How about we rephrase that? We need to revamp everything. There's a complete overhaul that needs to take place, which is part of the reason it's part of the reason that all this is happening when you look at the big picture. We have to rebuild everything. Thomas is saying, I think YouTube is trying to keep you from dad jokes. Did you try to type a dad joke, and what's going on? Give us a dad joke. Let's give it a test run. All right, hang on. Let's pull some cards. Which cards do we want to use? Let's use the Guardian of the Night Tarot. Okay. Let's do this. The oversight hearings with Kash Patel, oh my God, he's just, wow. Was he ever digging a hole for himself? Anyway, specifically, let's read on this. And please hit the thumbs up, and please let me know when we have a bunch of thumbs up that add up to 200. We have to have 200 in the house in order for that to happen. Okay, and we have a dad joke pending, maybe, Thomas? I don't think they'd shut you down for dad jokes. Okay. Let's gosh, I got about 5 things I want to read on. Let's start with the Democrats in the Oversight Committee. Here we go. Dad joke. My chiropractor published his own music. It's a hip pop hip hop album. That's cute. You get a bell. The Democrats in these oversight hearings. Patel is what a total idiot. The Democrats they're doing a great job. Jasmine Crockett, Jamie Raskin, they're holding Kash Patel's feet to the fire, and they're making him just spin out. Yeah, and he definitely has anger issues. Patel has huge anger issues. He cannot keep his composure. He starts like insulting the Democrats and talking over them. The whole talking over them is like, yeah, he's pissing off everybody. So how are the Democrats doing there? 6 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands. It's kind of like keeping, it's kind of like holding steady. This is like holding the line. The Democrats are kind of like holding the line. Zircon, I have not read on whether he'll leave. I would appreciate it if you don't preempt me. I would appreciate that. So what the Democrats are doing right now is they're holding the line. You know, they're not necessarily making big leaps and bounds, but they're holding steady. Okay. Yeah, a bunch of soap opera characters in the cabinet. Yes. All right, let's pick a few more cards. I need my nefarious cards. I don't think I have them up here. I want to use a different deck. Hang on. I'm feeling the Voyager deck and I want to pull a fairy card. Let's pull a fairy forest card. To guide us. A lot of you are showing up late. What were you doing? Sounds like we have a doctor office going on here. Otherworld. I say everything in the chat is about something that doesn't have anything to do with this. 44. This is a time when we are passing through a veil that separates the worlds. When once all was clear and life felt stable and grounded, this is the card. Where life once felt stable and grounded, for now there is a shaking of the firmament and a shift in your reality that makes you feel at times as though you are living in a waking dream. What once seemed solid is no longer to be relied upon, and throughout this time you may be suffering ailments. This is a time when the thin boundaries between the worlds have dissolved for you, and there is a raw and unfamiliar energy to your world. When this takes place, we can sometimes fall ill, suffer from a great loss of vital energy, and begin to feel we lose a connection with our minds that is strong. We can suffer, and in that suffering, we can begin to forget who we once were. And that, in some ways, is the purpose of this time. You are now a walker between the worlds, and this time of being apart from the reality others seem to dwell within is going to bring you to greater wisdom, knowledge, compassion, and insights. This time will serve its purpose and is the breakthrough that your soul requires for the next stage of our journey. But for our humanity, this is challenging indeed. Ask yourself, how can this create meaning and depth when we return to our own reality? And how can this experience be used to serve the planet and the magical world? That will give you great strength even while you experience the shadowlands of the worlds between the worlds. Were you listening to that long? I kept on reading it. I didn't shorten it because it was so appropriate. Oh, Thomas, you went to the chiropractor. Good. So we're living in a time where we really have to use the spirit world. I talked about this morning, and I talk about this frequently. We cannot solve these problems on the level of the physical. We have to go to the spiritual realm. Yeah, that was really, I might take a screenshot of the text so that you all can read it. Let's read on Dumpy's trip to England. Dumpy had a past lifetime as a king, a fairy spirits. Yeah. I mean, unless you've seen one in the physical. I haven't seen one in the physical. What are you guys, I mean, are you guys all falling apart? I feel like I'm reading a medical record screed here. What's going on out there? Take care of yourselves. Be careful. Okay, so fairies are from the elemental world. Yeah, read about them. It's so much. How's Dumpy's trip to England going? Now, I read on it yesterday. Remember, I did a psychic on the rocks and the beach. I was on the beach and the rocks. And I was reading about his trip to England. I couldn't figure out why he went to England. Oh, we have a guest in the house. Let me just pull these 3 cards first. Who might that be? I'm just going to pull 3 cards about his trip to England. And what I got yesterday was the 8 of Cups, which was like he would regret his visit. 3 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, the Tower. The trip to England, oh, he was feeling all like, oh, look, they're celebrating me, they're celebrating me, they're celebrating me. But then I have the Tower. What a disaster. And the 8 of Pentacles. The people of England, it's making me feel better because I feel that, like, the people in the UK have just upped the game and they're going to make it easier for us. It's nice to know we have support. All right, let's distract everyone from their physical ailments. I don't know what is up with that. And bring in Kathy Biehl. Thank you for rescuing me. I'm just kidding.
I apologize. It took a while. I had all kinds of technical difficulty. And now I'm hearing you.
Okay, you can hear me. You can hear me. Thomas was saying that he thought he was banned from posting dad jokes.
No, I'm hearing myself in an echo.
Okay, let me do this. Because that's why that is. I forgot that happens. Can you hear me? All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, the echo's still there.
Is the echo still there?
Yeah, I wonder. Well, now it's less.
Yeah, because I just took. Yeah, because
Okay.
I took the microphone off, and that I think you hear. It makes sense, right? That's what used to happen on the radio shows, right? Can you turn off your mic, your TV? Kathy, I'm kind of distracted by people in the chat are going on. I feel like I'm in a medical office or something. Everyone's talking about their ailments. Is there something going on?
Gee,
Astrological?
really? Maybe the solar eclipse at the very end of Virgo, the sign of health and physicality?
But it's not the eclipse yet.
Oh, no, you feel eclipses before they happen. You feel eclipses after they happen. We've been feeling this eclipse probably for a couple of months, the build up to it. And it's going to get, the closer we get to it, the more intense. Someone kicked Thomas. Why would you kick Thomas? I'm sorry, I just noticed the chat.
Well, Thomas fell off a ladder the other night, so we said we're all going to send him Reiki, and I'm like, you got to go to the chiropractor. And now all these people are talking about their physical problems. So, and I don't want to hear anything about getting old. I don't buy that. I'm feeling a little bit ornery tonight because I'm so mad about
Feisty.
the pomp and circumstance around Dumpy. It's like, I mean, just the most heinous monster in history. One of them. One of the most heinous monsters. I mean, he's up there, all right? Maybe we can think of other people. We don't have to say names. We all know what we're talking about. But maybe number 3 most worst person in history. The worst person. One of the worst people in the modern era. Okay, but rather than getting what's due him, he's being treated like God.
And while this is happening, somebody is projecting the timeline of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein onto the castle where he is appearing. And my understanding is, somebody check this out. I saw this yesterday. I didn't see it today. That there is a news channel in Britain that is just playing nonstop lists of his lies.
Oh, I heard that. I not only did when you said something about it earlier to me when we were talking, I didn't know really what you meant, and then so now I have the whole story. Also, when I read on it when I was on the beach yesterday, I did Psychic on the Rocks. I didn't even know why he was going to the UK. I was just like, well, I heard he was going to the UK. So when I read on it, I got that he was going to be really upset about something. And that because the 8 of Cups came up and it indicated regretting what's happened in the past. And then they projected the picture of him and Epstein on Windsor Castle. Now, I don't know.
It's more than a picture. It's a long video, and I can send people the link to it if they want. It's a long video. It's not just a picture. It's a timeline. It has a narration. It's a timeline. It's a timeline. Oh no, it's brilliant. It is more than a photo.
And then you said they were also playing something on the radio with all the
No, there's a TV network that is going through this like wall-to-wall lists of his lies.
I love that. I've always wanted to see that. Oh my gosh, can we see it? Do you know?
I don't know. We have to search for it, but let me reframe things. I always like to reframe things. A really useful question is, how does this benefit me? Trump is out of the country and he's getting his little boots lick in pomp and ceremony. What might possibly be happening during his absence? We don't know. How does it benefit us that he is not here right now? I want people to remember that a couple of weeks ago, we had 5 to 7 days of not having him dominating the news cycle. Remember how nice the quiet was? Remember how wonderful it was to live without him being a constant factor? We've got that. He's on a different time schedule right now. Maybe it's just a few days. Please enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't know. Right before you came on, I pulled the 8 of. Did I pull the 8 of Cups again? I pulled the Tower card.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Well, let me show you. Like first, it's all this celebration. Oh, look at these people. They think because I do think he had a past lifetime as a king. I definitely get that. Who was the king that loved gold? Like
Midas, Midas.
Did I? Hang on. Have we ever talked about whether he was him?
Well, it might not be. That might be a myth. That might be a Greek myth. It might not be a real person.
I have a yes, and I might have been Louis the 16th, maybe. I always get the number wrong. that loved gold, that just loved gold, had gold everywhere. He really has that. Do you know who the king was that loved gold and everything was gold? Just obsessed with it. I think he was him. I'll look it up. Anyway, so when I asked about his trip, yeah, the Three of Cups, he's all happy. Look, I'm with royalty. And if you see, if anybody, Louis the 14th, thank you. Yeah, I've gotten before that he was Louis the 14th. But if anybody, yeah, I've gotten that before that he was Louis the 14th. And has anybody ever seen a documentary about Queen Elizabeth? I want to say Victoria. Queen Elizabeth's dining room and what goes into a state dinner like that. It's bad enough that he got all the horses and the whole, he got to ride in the golden carriage and all that. Unbelievable.
I'm sorry,
It's incredible. No, it's fine. I mean, just go and watch a documentary about dining with Queen Elizabeth. You will not believe the amount of money. It's an obscene amount of money. It's unbelievable. And so he was treated like, so Louis the 14th was called the sun god, right?
right.
So he was treated like he was fucking royalty, like he had done something so amazing that he deserved to be bowed down to. I hope nobody bowed to him.
They didn't give him a red carpet.
He probably asked for one. Do you think that he was being schmoozed for a particular end?
This is the country where the Queen wore a brooch that Obama gave her when she met Trump. They have their way. They have their way of throwing shade without.
Oh,
I would
didn't know
interpret
that.
this as. Oh yeah.
I vaguely remember that.
Yep. But however, I think there's something more important going on, if I might jump in here. Some people have talked about what the FCC what ABC did because of the FCC. And I think we have a massive First Amendment problem going on here. Jimmy Kimmel has been pulled indefinitely off the air because he made
just heard that, but I got that he was going to fight it when I asked.
Oh, of course he's going to fight. Okay, you did ask. Okay, just making sure.
I didn't ask if he would win.
No, but he'll fight it.
I get that. Okay, I got it. He's going to win. Yeah. Do you have any charts we can peek at? Your choice. Whoever you want.
What do I have? Well, let me just talk a little bit about this eclipse. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Now, everyone will always go, oh, it's an eclipse. Ooh, big deal. Yeah, okay. Eclipses are major. What's particularly important about the solar, there are a couple of things that are important about the solar eclipse that's happening on Sunday afternoon on the 21st. The solar eclipse is a supercharged new moon. This is the second new moon we've had in the sign of Virgo this year, because the one in August was at 0 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
And this one is at 29 degrees. Believe it or not, the one in August was actually a more forceful and violent energy, because Uranus, the disruptive influence in the sky, was slamming the eclipse, forcing everybody to start thinking about things differently. So, solar eclipse. A solar eclipse always briefly blots out the light. Something always leaves. Eclipses always boot something out. Lunar eclipses are much more dramatic in what they boot out, but things go under a solar eclipse as well. And here's my metaphor for you to think about. You know how sometimes you'll wake up and your computer will have installed an update overnight that you didn't know about? It just happened. Yeah. That's one way this can operate. It's like something has gone on out of your conscious mind, out of your conscious ability to see things, and you go back into your normal way of doing things, and things are changed, things are moved around, some things are missing, some things work differently. In theory, there's an upgrade. So metaphor number one, installation of a new operating system, not necessarily one that you intentionally asked for, it just happens. Secondly, this one's gonna be supersized because it's at the very end of the sign, and this is the only solar eclipse in the current eclipse family we are under. From September of last year to February of 2027, we have eclipses, or maybe it's March. I think it's February. We have eclipses in the signs of Virgo and Pisces, which have a lot to do with how interconnected we are and how we have boundaries, whether we're using conscious, rational thinking or whether we're acting on faith, that kind of dichotomy. Every eclipse but one in this cycle is a lunar eclipse, which is wrapping stuff up, which bring massive revelations and shut down chapters. The only one that's shooting us forward is this Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
So it's so there's something, and look where, if you know your chart, look where 29 degrees Virgo falls. And this one is exactly opposite the planet Saturn. Saturn slows things down. Saturn represents time. Saturn represents authority. Saturn has just gone back into Pisces, so there could be a sacrifice of a leader. We saw that already this week, last week, 5 days ago, whatever. Thought leader. Virgo has a lot to do with words, so a thought leader was sacrificed. That's one way of looking at an event that happened in Utah. And there's something about the past that we have to deal with that's dragging us down as we come up with new systems, new ways of how we're going to do things, look at things. I have a long forecast about this up at empowermentunlimited.net. I also have, if you want to just listen to it, it's on my YouTube channel, Professional Aquarian. Louise Eddington and I are going to talk about this in our political astrology video that we will put up on Friday afternoon in a couple of days. It's affecting everybody, and it's a turning point moment. Interesting label, right? It's a turning point moment.
Yeah, I know. I keep saying that, and then I realize what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Can we just ask? Last month, what was going on during the solar eclipse in August? I'm trying to remember. In Virgo.
It was a new moon, just a new moon.
But as far as events on,
and it happened on the 22nd, 23rd, somewhere around then.
there's been so
At this
many
point,
things. It's like,
it's
okay,
impossible for me to even.
right. I
But
know.
a thing to keep in mind with all this is Virgo deals with the mind. Virgo deals with the body. Virgo has to do with improvement and betterment, and how can you be really analytical, come up with a plan, a to-do list, how you're going to do things differently. So the Ernest Holmes work fits in with this because you're empowering where your mind is.
She
So
said Ernest Holmes.
I said it.
Off the ledge. Off the ledge.
You're empowering where your mind is. So new moons are a really appropriate time to set intentions about what you'd like to invite into your life or what you'd like to cultivate or nurture, whether you do a ritual or a ceremony or not. So just remember that you're really, really emphasizing what's going on in your mind. And there's a big difference between thinking about what you want and focusing on what's driving you batshit crazy. I encourage you to think about what you want.
Yeah. On that note, I just want to mention that I've been getting strong guidance to tell people that if you can, when you are able to get your being into a peaceful state, That's the power that the collective needs right now. Considering that the energy that you bring to the collective is like bringing something to a banquet or to a buffet or a potluck. Whatever energy that you have, you're bringing to the buffet. And so my guides just keep telling me, if if we get peaceful on a regular basis every day, just really bring ourselves for as long as we can to complete stillness and peace, you will, well, first of all, you'll feel different, but you'll be contributing to the collective energy. You'll be like, it's like putting a deposit in. So it helps in a number of ways, but I'm getting that so strongly. Is like nobody realizes how powerful that is. So it helps on all levels. Um, I I know we talked a lot about what was going on with this assassination and all this. It's been insane the past week. But we won't get into it. But we have a whole. I have an entire download about what went on there. And I will just say what you're seeing is not really what's going on. Can we talk in semi-code?
I think that's been true for quite a while. And and when we get into October, just put that in the back of your head. The whole issue of gaslighting over a period of time will be much more front and center, much more looking at
That we've been gaslit.
Mhm.
And on the 21st, we had talked about there's a memorial for Charlie Kirk on the 21st.
Right
Um,
on the eclipse.
do you know what time the eclipse is? I'm sure it's on my calendar here.
It's just before 4 o'clock Eastern time.
That's when the eclipse is?
Yeah, like 3:54 on Sunday
I thought you said
Eastern time.
I thought you said that that's when the event is.
That's when the eclipse is.
Oh.
The eclipse is at 3:54 Eastern time on Sunday. I don't know. The event, is it at noon? I think it might be at noon. So it's when this is building.
You mean Eastern time?
I think it's at noon in Arizona.
Right at the time that we have Church of Spirituality. Perfect. So join us for the live stream on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern. It will be really, really important. Because I really do get what you're saying. I mean, that's what I keep on getting. You know, I kind of feel like, oh, I understand now why I've been doing all this work all these years. You know what I mean? Because during these times, we need these tools. Melania wore a horrible yellow dress with a plastic pink belt. Let's ask if it was Melania.
Meanwhile,
Hang on, I'm just checking to see if it was Melania that was there. I'm getting like how could it kind of sort of be her? Was it Melania's physical? Okay, so it was her. There but not there. I got it first.
well, doesn't she check out when she does these things?
Kind of, yeah, mentally. Electrostorm thinks it was a double. I get that it has been.
There have been times when it pretty clearly looks like a double. And I don't buy into this double business, but there's a lot of times when you see Melania and go, nah, those cheeks aren't right. Look at those big sunglasses.
Let's ask that. Has she sometimes been yeah, sometimes I get that's funny because I just got when they're in a fight. Yeah, sometimes it's a double when they're in a fight. Oh my gosh. What do we need to present?
So let me go back to the eclipse for a moment, okay?
Okay.
You're going to hear a lot of stuff about it. The lunar eclipse from September 7th is they're both going to continue to play out into March. And we will have a companion event to the lunar eclipse in March of 2026 that's going to give us the opportunity to clean up and shut down a lot of ways that we've been dealing with whatever came up in your life as a result of the September 7th lunar eclipse, things that are happening now. Think back in your life. I know people say, I don't remember. September 2006, we had an eclipse at the same spot as the full moon / lunar eclipse of September 7th.
2006. I got to really think.
So, look at what's going on as setting up how we're going to think about things, how we're going to restructure things, how we're going to reorganize, how we're going to clean things up.
Do you know what I think is going to happen?
Please tell me.
I think the United States of America is going to go through a huge, I don't want to say trauma, a huge wake-up call. And it'll force us to all pay attention, and we will have an opportunity to build from the ground up and to redo everything. And to rewrite. And I got this from the very beginning when Dumpy came on the scene, that we would have to redo everything. Little did I know all that, was going to come, all the disasters that we've had. Of Putin instructing him to destroy America altogether. But I do see us rewriting our Constitution. I am wondering, I don't know where you would see this in the chart, because I'm not an astrologer, but I wonder if you can see anything about the people being suppressed. So we're talking about Jimmy Kimmel getting canceled.
Well, there's a lot of energy right now involving Virgo, which has to do with words. And the sun and the south node is in the sign of Virgo, what we're moving away from. And the sun just went across the south node. So there's something about releasing all kinds of things having to do with the past. And then this whole, we're going to shut down free speech.
Yeah, what the hell?
Streak just erupted as the sun walked across the south node. However, next week, we're going to be thinking and talking about a whole lot. There have been two really complicated astrological configurations that have happened again and again and again since last month. And they will now, next week and then into October, recur with different players moving into the configurations. And next week, the communication, the wind tunnel of noise, of information, of stuff will just be over the top. So right. So this stuff that we're seeing isn't going to just become the norm or go away. We'll be talking about things a whole lot. And in October, we will be doing things a whole lot. And people are, they're going to be reacting. So the courts are a factor in this, because what has been happening is we've been having an unbroken, like a round robin of energy in all of the air signs, with the two outer planets that represent change making two of the points of the triangle. And since August, one inner planet after another has come into the spot of completing that. And next week, Mercury completes it, the sun completes it. By the end of the month, the sun completes it. And then next month, Venus completes it, which Venus has to do with people, values. So these issues aren't going away. They're not going away. The information flow will just keep getting crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier. And then meanwhile, there's a second kind of weird influence that puts pressure on a particular thing again and again and again. It's called a finger of God. And we've had like 4 of them, a lot of them in September, and there are more next month. They're a kind of unusual aspect that where 2 things say, you will deal with this, you will deal with this, you will deal with this again and again and again and again and again. So this is not sliding into something and being stuck in it, I think, is my point. We will
So
continue dealing with stuff.
I have so many questions.
I know.
I do. My brain is full with questions. So, the communication thing. What you're saying sounds like what I'm feeling is like I'm thinking about Colbert, right? He got an Emmy. I haven't listened to the speech. I need to listen to it. People are so excited and happy and like this is a real America, right? And his show is set to be canceled next year. Um, and then we hear that Jimmy Kimmel is getting taken off the air, and I hear that it's immediately. That's what people are saying in the chat. I guess it's
Right,
kind of
and indefinitely, yeah, because he talked about the topic that for whatever reason
yeah,
is the radioactive hot potato.
yeah. We need to all be still talking about it. Anyway, it sounds like you're trying to, like hold the dam broken, trying to like this whole fascist regime is trying to keep the dam from flushing water all over everything. So I feel like it's going to be this whole thing feels like it's just too much. How like trying to deport all the immigrants. We're a country of immigrants, right? Trying to get everyone to not say things. We're a country that was founded on freedom of speech, right? Trying to get Americans to not be Americans. We're Americans. It's like, like trying to get things that we just are to not be, right? Which is kind of their tech, right? Get things that are to not be. And I just don't see it working. And I see that the more terrified we become, the more power they get to be idiots. So, as far as the 21st and the memorial for what's his name, that feels like a very tumultuous energy day. So we all need to be batting on the hatches and be calm and cool and collected.
And a bunch
Go
of
ahead.
days right after that. Okay, so we're in a tunnel. Think of it as a wind tunnel from the 19th to the 24th of anything could happen. So I encourage people, pick your battles, pay attention to what your solar plexus or your gut or your instinct is telling you about any kind of situation. Don't rationalize yourself out of your reactions to anything. If
Yeah, so
something
make it,
says,
yeah.
yeah, if something in you says, I think I'm going to stay home, stay home. If something in you says, I'm going to go out.
Yeah,
But just there's a concept of situational awareness. Use
yeah.
it.
Just trust your intuition. I tell people all the time, if you're not training yourself how to be psychic, you're really you
Oh,
already have the tool, right? We already
I
have a
love
sixth sense.
I love that Innocent Potato is quoting Northern Exposure. Chris in the morning. Every act of creation requires an act of destruction. I'm not sure that's entirely true, but
Well, it kind of is. Because you need a space for things to be rebuilt, right? So CNN just reported he has been dropped indefinitely. Nothing's permanent. I mean, we can't end without talking about Kamala. But I just want everyone to just really get this is my most fervent desire is that everybody just gets that we don't know what's going to happen and it could be amazing. I literally last night because I reached I mentioned this on Off the Ledge this morning. I reached a point last night. Thank you, Jackie. You're so
whoa.
sweet. Hey, thanks for the donation. Appreciate it. I got to a point where all of a sudden I went, oh my gosh, every single thing that I'm watching, because I always have we both do. We always have our finger on the pulse, moment to moment, what's going on all day. So I was looking for more news stories, and every single one was negative and bad and negative and bad. And I was like, this just defies freaking reason. It's completely illogical that every single thing that's happening right now is bad. So I turned it all off. and I watched some kind of sitcom. But you know what I did? I got to tell people this. I was listening to Kathy interviewing. Is it Danielle?
Danielle Agnew. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a great interview. I share a lot in common with her. I liked her. So I'm listening to that, and I just start writing a song, right? Just spontaneously, and I'm writing the word something storm, and I'm hearing Kathy say at the same time that I got this compulsion to write a song. I hear Kathy say it's a really good time to be creative, and you said something about a storm, and I was writing the word storm while you were saying that. So we've got to get ourselves out of the morass of all bad news. It's not possible that every single thing that's happening is bad. But I can't find channels that have good news. So I turned it off. I wrote a song. It's almost done. And it's inspiring too. And what was it that you were just on that topic? What was it that you were actually saying about this being a good time for creativity? Was it Saturn and Pisces?
No, it's Neptune and Aries.
Yeah, well, I'm going to ride
Yeah,
that wave.
you gotta go with what you're see, we're moving into a new operating system, all right? Complete new operating system.
Yeah, and
The
that involves
intellect
tumult,
the
right?
intellect is what's going to, make if carry out what our inspiration and our creativity comes up with. So, those of you who have tarot decks, pull out the Ace of Wands and know that we're learning to live as the Ace of Wands, as raw creative energy, just firing up through us. And
Right.
this is going to lock in as a way of being at the end of February next year. When at the end of February next year, we have a recurrence of an aspect that happened at the dawn of civilization that long
Wow.
ago. And if anyone's curious, I have a long interview with a statistics and astrology nerd on my channel. His name is Christopher Benton, Benton, and we talk about this. So the way of going through things is, or the way of getting, let me back up. I've talked about this round robin, this grand trine of energy that's been flowing through the air signs. When you have a grand trine, you always look for something in the middle that turns it into a kite. That's a string that pulls that energy down to ground, so you don't just go psycho with it. Neptune in Aries is the string of the kite. Neptune, our connection to spirit and creativity, in Aries, self-starting, raw, unpremeditated. What is in you? I
Right.
am energy. So that's where I got the just go create part.
Well, and Neptune went into Aries. Did it go out of the sign of Aries and come back, or has it been in Aries?
It's been in Aries since the end of March. It went into Aries on March 30th. The first thing that happened was Cory Booker standing on the Senate floor for 25 plus hours. It will go back into Pisces right before Halloween, and it'll hang out there until January 26th. So we've got Neptune in Aries grounding every grand trine until about the 20th of October. So that's our, and then we're just kind of,
And it's not like,
then
yeah.
we go psycho. We go emotionally psycho for a few weeks. Just warning you.
Well, yeah. Let's keep the intentions that things remain peaceful, because Halloween in this part of the country is a very busy time when people are out. So yeah, let's just keep safety in mind at all times. I love Neptune and Aries. There's something I don't know. Maybe it's in my chart. Neptune and Aries seems to like ignite my creativity. I mean,
Yeah, I would
whatever.
imagine that
Yeah,
it has done that. So
yeah.
Neptune's been at 0, 1, I think it got as far as 2, and it's going back, maybe 1. Anyway, Aries, and we have not lived through this in our lifetimes, okay, people? This
No.
last happened in the mid-1800s. Um,
Yes,
so
we can tell.
really?
We haven't really been here before. Do you ever think that some states will secede from the union? I don't think
No,
it's going to get that bad.
no.
No. No, but this is a massive, massive wake up call for all of us. Kamala. Let's just briefly touch on Kamala. If there's anything that you want to point out or remind us of, because we like to get inspired by the beautiful, the beautiful, loving, kind people. Focus on that.
Her book release is at an astrologically brilliant date. Her book release date coincides with an aspect that forces addressing crimes, money, technology that brings back into the conversation what the hell happened in early November 2024.
Right. Do you think in her
So,
book she talks about that?
well, to some extent, but I think it's bigger than her book. Okay, it's more than her book being released on that day is part of it, but I think it's a whole lot more because there are a sequence of other events leading up to this that open the door to a government falling, to a leader being taken out, to action being taken on crimes involving technology.
Oh, that's pretty loaded.
It's very loaded. So, there are those of us who've been saying it's going to come out. Next week has a massive window for not just evidence, proof, but some kind of really forceful action being taken on it. So, and I'm not the only astrologer saying this.
Yeah.
And it may not have anything to do with her. It may not have anything to do with our election, but it sure lines up with
Let's ask, shall
our
we?
election.
Are we going to see information come out about the election? That's a pretty strong yes. Now, oh yeah, we were talking about that earlier. That's right. I didn't feel like it was from here. I felt like it was going to come from a different country.
I don't know if Annette mentioned this, you guys, but she and I talked for about an hour.
Yeah, she talked me
PNN.
off the ledge.
We had our own PNN.
No, we had our own off the ledge.
That's true. We do that periodically.
Angry. So angry. Right? But we're going to be okay, everybody. Now, I know that they are definitely trying to scare us by shutting. Nothing makes me want to scream loudly than when somebody's trying to tell me to not say things. So, suppression is not going to work.
Interestingly, Ken Burns, that genius, has as his latest video project, which is coming out this fall, the American Revolution. I saw a show on PBS last night about the making of it, and it's like putting these people in the framework of these were real people. Like we can relate to them as human beings and the stuff that they did. Interesting timing, right?
When's it coming out?
This fall sometime. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, Ken Burns, he's a genius. Yeah, that's great. Is my moon in a fire sign? No, it's in Taurus. Darren's asking. Oh,
but
thank
your
you.
son's in a fire sign. I was in a practicum with an astrologer who was meeting me for the first time, and I was like, about all kinds of stuff, and he just said, "Is your moon in a fire sign?" Oh, yes. Yes, it is. Can you tell? No, it's Leo. Oh my God.
It's Leo.
Oh my God.
No, it's nothing wrong with Sag.
Oh no, I've got plenty in Sag.
Oh yeah, well that makes sense to me. That's why we get along. Thank you, Zircon, for putting my info up. We could go on and on, but we'll try to let people go have dinner or whatever they're gonna do. Everyone stay calm. We're gonna be okay, but we're not gonna be as okay if we keep freaking out. I think all of this that they're doing is gonna backfire on them. I've always felt that. And J.D. Vance, when I've seen him lately, he looks like a scared little kid trying to act presidential. it's freaking hilarious. You've seen this, right?
Everyone just monitor your thought loops and notice if you have loops repeating that are making you really anxious. And so my guiding image for you I use this one a lot, is from Miracle on 34th Street near the end, when little Susan Walker, Natalie Wood, is really upset because she told Kris Kringle what she wanted for Christmas, and it wasn't under the Christmas tree. And her mother and her mother's boyfriend are following the directions that Kris gave them to go home. And she's saying, I believe, it's silly, but I believe, just looking out the window. And they turn a corner and she starts shrieking because there is the house, the exact house that she told Kris she wanted for Christmas. So I believe it's silly, but I believe it's just around the corner, folks.
I can't believe I've never seen that movie.
What?
And I didn't see It's a Wonderful Life until like 5 years ago. But anyway, but you're making a point that's really important, and it's like when we're hanging on and hanging on and hanging on, it's gotta happen, it's gotta happen, it's gotta happen. When we do that, we're actually delaying the good from coming. It's so true. Don't you think that that's true?
Oh yeah.
If you're just hanging on like desperately, that's why I get kind of like, come on, everyone settle down, and everyone's going, when?
Well, so hold on. People are asking, do I think people need to stock up on cash, food, gas? If that calms you down, do it.
Yeah, really good point.
If it calms you down, do it.
Really, really true. Darren saying I definitely need to watch that movie. I might wait till Christmas time.
I believe. It's silly, but I believe.
Yeah, but that's a great note to end on, because we have to just keep believing. My God, the Red Sox didn't win a World Series for over 100 years. We had the curse of the Bambino going on, and that's what we kept on saying. That was 2005. We kept on saying it over and over. You gotta believe, you gotta believe, you gotta believe. This won't take 100 years. It'll be less. All right, so the major networks, the mainstream networks, they're failing anyway. They need to fall apart anyway. Keep your thoughts up. We went way over. Thanks for joining me. It's always fun.
Yeah,
right.
It is fun.
You
Bye,
wanna
everybody.
Give anyone any information about what you're up to before we go?
Hey, if anybody is in southeastern Pennsylvania or New York or northern New Jersey, I will be making an in-person appearance. Not very common. Saturday, September 27th. There is a book festival in Weasel Brook Park, Clifton, New Jersey, from 11 to 4. I'm exhibiting, but from 11:15 to noon, I'm on an author panel about supernatural memoirs, memoirists embracing the unseen. And I'm paired with a guy whose memoir comes out of the Christian faith, and then there's me. So if you're out, and I'll give you a cocktail recipe is what I've been drinking.
Nice.
From my latest book, Confessions of a Third-Rate Goddess. So anyway, that's one thing I'm doing in person.
I have to name your book again. I have to read that.
Confessions of a Third-Rate Goddess, Traipsing Through a World Gone Weird. This is a collection of things that I wrote in zines and for an alternative weekly, mostly in the 90s. And it was my way of documenting what was really happening in single life at that point, when Candace Bushnell was writing her Sex in the City column. And I would read it and go, oh, honey, you have no idea.
I know, you used to tell me all about it last year, and then I never did read it. And Warren's asking, what's the name of the park? You said Weasel something?
Weasel Brook, Weasel, 2 words, Brook. It's a lovely little park. It's a nice festival, actually. It was supposed to be earlier this year and it got rained out. So they're doing it in September.
And you're doing a show with Louise tomorrow?
Oh, Louise and I are going to have our show up on this Friday. We probably won't the Friday after. Our schedules are getting kind of weird in the next couple of weeks. When she's not available, I am going to make a point to have at least a short news update and political astrology forecast for the next week. So I will endeavor to keep doing at least my part of it when we have travel issues. She's traveling again next week, but
Okay.
we'll do it this week. Okay, everyone.
All right, everyone's leaving. They're all saying bye. Okay.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Thank you. Tomorrow night is we do our guided meditation for Healed America. I can't think of a better time to do guided meditation together. 7 p.m. Eastern, Off the Ledges Daily with Kathy's astrological forecast for the day. Join us. Thumbs up. Sorry we didn't reach our goal tonight, but we'll try again on Friday. Thank you. It was fun. Namaste. See you later.